Hey, what's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. I hope everybody's weekend is going well. I'm over here giving out well wishes because I'm always start like this with the reality of it is it's kind of stressful to move your way through the day. And you know what I'm saying? Without encountering some unpleasantness. I had the pleasure of not encountering any unpleasantness today. The traffic was very smooth. And that I brought my blue self back home. Can I say black? I'm gonna normalize black. Let's say black all the time. Blackity black, black, black. Anyway, y'all, like the video, subscribe to my channel. We're over here on the island of Fuji. Not everybody's black, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? We like to blend and engage with multiple things and cultures. So, it's a kiki over here. Um, it's season 2. It's episode 2 and 3. New here. Sure, I said that before. Something happened with my last video. Now, it wasn't in any, fault of mine. I went back, I checked through things. Everything was okay over here. But for whatever reason, YouTube decided to like shut it off randomly at the end of the video. But I feel like I got pretty much through, the important parts of what was happening over here in Fuji. So we left off with Lucinda and Josh. They're single and vulnerable because some heartbreakers came in there and stole they Love Island couple. They like to call it couples over here. They be coupled up, but some people got uncoupled and got heartbreakers was over here breaking hearts. Charlie, we know Charlie. Charlie's back from last season. Charlie didn't get a real chance to do his thing. And Charlie's cute. I like Charlie. I'm not sure like what his game is. You know what I'm saying? If he's a lover boy or not. We haven't. None of us have seen Charlie get the opportunity to lock in on someone. He liked Shelly. That whole Ace thing was happening over there. So Charlie's from the UK. I like Charlie. I'm sorry, like he didn't get more time. Anyway, he pulls Andrea over to the side because he just stole her. And now that they're a couple, like, can you imagine like you just sitting here chilling in some guy that you've seen on TV, but not really met in person until just now? He comes in, you gotta go couple up with him and then get in the same bed with him that night. That's a lot. That's a lot. Like, that's a lot to like just have to let somebody in your personal space all the way like that. So you really have to let your barriers down and open up to whatever this game is going to be. We see that it's been 7 seasons. It's just now getting to me, but these last 2 seasons have made enough noise where the people are familiar with what goes on Love Island and what could possibly happen after Love Island. It's an island of pretty people with very beautiful shapes and things. And so, yeah, we got to figure out what we're going to do over here. Charlie lets Andrea know that, if he finds love, that's cool. And his money, though, his mind is on his money. His money is on his mind, child. You got to get to know the person. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to know this person. We're about to have to like sleep in the same bed tonight. So let's you don't want to be like ick. I would not sleep with somebody that made me ick. So I don't know like what these contracts and things say. Seems like sometimes they be all the way on opposite sides of the bed or they just go sleep somewhere else. Anyway, they're not having any issues. It's a vibe. They're talking about their cultures, the similarities. He's from the UK, but he said he's Greek. She's Colombiana. Her mama from Colombia or her daddy from Cuba or vice versa. I know it's a Colombian and a Cuban down there in Miami, doing what it is they do. Does he speak Spanish? He does speak Spanish. I think that's cool. I think, pretty much everyone besides us. When I say us, I mean over here in America, child, we be thinking that the whole world's supposed to conform to what we're doing. So we're gonna see how this all works out. But anyway, there is a vibe. They're having a vibe. She says she's not mad that he picked her. So she's interested in knowing like what's gonna happen over here. She said the last time she came over here, she put all her eggs in one basket. And we see how that turned out. So she moving different. I like you, Charlie, so far. Let's see what's up. I'm a competitor. If you're here to win this money, we can do that and we can be cool. And I think that's the whole thing. Like you need to really be focused on who you can pair up with and get a connection with the game. As soon as you start snibbly bibbly over here with your feelings, you can mess up the connection and then y'all don't perform as well. I like this approach that Andrea has. However, they're giving Andrea credit for being so great, and we haven't seen her do anything besides say, I'm athletic and I like to win, so I'm here for the money. But, well, then let's see you win. That's all I have to say about Andrea. So some of these other girls are just as athletic. Seems like it's getting more and more athletic as we go. But, we right here still on this couch with Charlie and Andrea. So I'm not mad at that because, like I said, you got to build your chemistry. Whatever it is, y'all can sleep in that same bed together. And it's probably more comfortable if you're not trying to like each other right off the bat. We just got here. These people came in and found out they were coupled up with somebody. She already kissed the other boy, Josh. And then as soon as she kissed him, she got snatched by Charlie. And then she's kind of like, oh, okay. So it's a lot of kissing. Should be called Kissing Island. Celine, she pulls Bert for a chat because this is her new couple. I'm confused by her choice, actually. And maybe I'll understand it later on. But she comes over here. This boy is looking in the sky in any other which way but at her, and she chose him. Which to me seems like the chemistry's already off. That just doesn't make sense. I don't know if she had it in her head that she's this goddess that's going to make every man want to look at her. He don't. He want to look at you, Lucinda. So I don't know what her choice, was. Probably a good idea not to pick the person that you really like. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, see first what's that's all about. But she pulls Merc, so they have a little chat. She says she's here for fun and for the game. So don't think she's trying to be nobody's girlfriend. She want to kiss on who she want to kiss on, and she want to win some challenges so she can get to that money. Not mad at that. Lover boy over here, Mert, he's got his eyes set on Lucinda, and I think the language barrier being an issue for him. He understands English, but it's a challenge for him still, and so it's hard to connect with people quickly. And this is a situation that, I understand. It's hard to connect with people quickly that speak a different language than you do. But the more time you spend around them, y'all start to understand each other. You know what I'm saying? So, but he's not going to be able to do it real fast because his challenge is, being able to keep up. But I feel like everything he's serving over there with his Belgian cuteness, he's used to doing over there on the soccer field, I can't remember if it's Netherlands, Belgium, but they seem to be connected when it comes to these shows, switching, because they've been all over. This ain't the first stop. But yeah, he likes a girl. He asked her, he was like, if you didn't pick me, like, who would you have picked? She said, who did she say? She said Isaiah, Chris, or Lucinda. So, Miss Celine over here is fluid. I don't know if Lucinda is, but she's Mrs. Still Your Girl, possibly. Keep an eye on her. Right now, her eye is on Isaiah. He's at the top of the list. Chris, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like her and Chris could possibly be a good pairing because they're here for the money, and I feel like Chris doesn't do good. He's very what's the word I'm looking for? He's very guarded with his feelings. I think it has a lot to do with how he was perceived the last time he was over here getting played by Huda and Shelly, mostly Huda. But I feel like he set himself up from that. I think he went over there not knowing what he wanted to do. And for some reason, Chris thinks he's famous. Like, we did not know him before he came over here. I don't know where he played professional football, basketball at, but wherever it was, we were not watching. Not to know you like that. So, he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. I think he feels like he wants to be the leader of this show, like Ace. Him and Ace has such a, and I'm not trying to compare him to Ace. I'm just saying his behavior over here, he's big dogging a lot, and that's not what he was over there. Ace has a very polarizing personality. Like him or not, I think Ace is, somebody you got to pay attention to. And Chris is a little more laid back. And, you can find your match, but I don't know what, you ain't leading nothing over here. The Islanders are running amok. They don't have no leader. And I don't think you need one. You need a partner. So Chris, focus on that. I don't know how you got dragged into this. Oh, because this girl Celine said she liked you. And I think y'all, because you are focused, she's tall, y'all have balance. You know what I'm saying? Because right now you and KK don't really have balance. So it's going to work into your advantage sometimes. But I feel like the height difference, when you're talking about athletic challenges, it might be not a default, but an issue. You know what I'm saying? This lady, because he's 6'8", that's very tall. What's her name? Celine. Celine says she wanted to see what they look like kissing because KK is very itty bitty. So I'm dragging this out. Anyway, what's going on? No, nobody even said they were going to be partners. Right now, we're just kind of confused and running around trying to see who we click with. That about it on them. Lucinda and Josh. Well, now they got to strategize. Now they have to strategize because they now have these broken-hearted chains on that they did not want. And Lucinda wants to go over here and snuggle bug with Mert. She thinks, she's not sure, but quite possibly. And Chris and Andrea have already been kissing. And Chris has a very large chip on his shoulder. So he's not about to let Charlie come in here and steal his girl. And he's very strong. So he's he's a little powerhouse tucked in there, like with those little muscles and things, little Josh. Is that why he has a chip on his shoulder? I mean, he feels like he's got a lot to prove. He's very like in your face a little bit. I'm wondering, like, is Andrea really into him like that? Or is Andrea smart enough to know that he likes her a lot? And she's like, well, he's strong in muscles and athletic, so he can help me win. And, I don't mind, what he looks like or whatever. So we'll see. But I don't know that she has any feelings involved. But I feel like he is like already on some, let's go pick out rings and things. He's frustrated. He's mad. He got to get his girl back. And Lucinda is depressed. Girl, the game is not over. You can't come over to places called challenges with noodle arms. So you're going to be down there with the rest of them lifting weights and things trying to get your strength up. And you can see now that every challenge is not about strength. So we'll see, girl. Right now, it's all good. Her and Mert, kind of like I said, kind of like each other. They're trying to figure it out. First, they got to figure out if they can even understand each other. But she thinks he's cute and he has a great body. And he likes her eyes. So there's a start. Chris and KK are over at Soul Ties. Apparently, KK had some moment over at Soul Ties. I'm not watching season 5. Y'all can let me know whatever it is. Apparently, something went down for her in Soul Ties. I don't even know who her partner was. I might go see. Not for a whole season, just, to see what's, in the know. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, her and Chris are at Soul Ties. And, he wants to talk strategy. You better be, because that's what everybody else is doing. We have to figure out how to, balance you two, like I said, because she's so small and he's so big. Then they start talking about kisses, and I was like, Chris, over here trying to act like a tough guy? Are you over here trying to strategize or talking about kisses? Because, are y'all going to kiss each other? He's not. If he does, he better hurry up because other people are coming and she don't like to move that slow. And I feel like you can slow down a little bit, KK, but I understand that if she says she came over here for the love, not the money. So if she's not trying to get close to, whoever she's partnered up with, then she don't have to be there. She's athletic. She'll probably fare pretty well, but she did come in fourth. So now she knows she got to try. Girl, you better put that hair in a ponytail. Hope you don't get no slime caught up under there. It is nasty on these challenges, some of them. Are challenge kisses different than kisses outside of challenges? Yes. Challenge kisses comes with spit and slime and salad dressing and sand and all kinds of disgusting things. Milk and yes, these kisses are different. There's no kind of passion or, anything connected to challenge kisses. Just disgusting. I don't know why they wouldn't want to just hurry up and go through it. They'd be all trying to lick each other's lungs out. Sandy mouth. It's not romantic over in the challenge kisses. I feel like, like I said, you can slow down a little bit, KK. It's been a day and he's, trying to figure out how the game goes. He's an actual athlete. So I think his thought process is to think out all the things. We got somebody in love and somebody over here, I hear knocking. I'm assuming that's somebody busting down freeze pops, popsicles. Anyway, try to ignore the background noise. Tyreek and Adriana. Actually, I like her name. Tyreek and Andreina have a moment. I don't know why they thought they were going to. I thought I was going to get picked. I thought I was going to get picked too. Why? Because we so fine. You thought somebody couldn't resist. Adriana is going to have to come out of that thought process. Yes, she's beautiful. And then what? You know what I'm saying? Clearly, you're not an athlete, girl. What else are you bringing to the table besides? I was like, oh, she don't stop snorting and things, girl. That noise don't sound right coming out of such a beautiful lady. You need to work on that. Figure out how to do something else with that laugh. That's mean, I guess. Anyway, am it just me? Does it throw you off a little bit? Her laughing throws me off a little bit. And they think that's funny right now, cute. But when you get down in your relationship and you're irritated with this girl, she starts snorting and things when she thinks something is funny that you don't. You ain't going to find it so cute anymore. It's barely cute right now. It's kind of not cute. Anyway. They talked about the kisses. This girl, her and Charlie did have quite a passionate kiss, and I low-key thought that he was gonna, pick her too. This girl and her tongue, I've seen her tongue licking all over 3 different people already. We just down to episode 2. She says she's focused on romance. If she didn't say that, that's what it seemed like. She talking about this boy was in her DMs and she came over here wanting to meet Tyreek. Tyreek is a player and it's not even like slick style. It's just he's one of those slick talkers like Eddie Haskell or, the kid that, if you're too young to know is Eddie Haskell. Eddie Haskell is a boy that was Wally's best friend on Leave It to Beaver. And Eddie Haskell used to come over to the house and be like, hello, Mrs. Cleaver. Hello, Mr. Cleaver. And as soon as they leave the room, he would be like, so come on, let's go get into some trouble. That's what Tyreek is giving. He's giving very much Eddie Haskell. You got all sources, apps and YouTubes and things. So if you want to just go nostalgic and see what things were like back in the, 60s, where we didn't have no rights, much like that's what's happening right now. But anyway, we had Leave It to Beaver. Go check it out. It's entertaining. It's wholesome. So, We need a little clean wholesomeness. Um, they promised not to switch up on each other. I don't know why they're saying that. I don't believe it for either one of them. Clearly, they both have a switch. So, this is Love Island, child. Anything can happen. If one thing's gonna happen, Tyreek and Adriana is gonna be over here doing exactly what they said they're not gonna do. Hey, they're all sitting around on the island, and KK and what's this girl, Andrea? Oh, yeah. Now it comes back to me. What was happening? So KK and Andrea were sitting on the couch having a little kiki, and she was saying that she doesn't know what she wants to do. Andrea, she's like, Chris is cool, and Josh is cool, and I don't know which direction I want to, be feeling just yet. And then KK tells this girl, listen to her coochie, and your coochie's gonna tell you you'll know. And I'm like, don't, absolutely do not listen to your coochie, because it's gonna just lead you down the wrong path for damn sure. Listen to your brain, stay in the headspace you're at. This girl is over here wanting to be, romanced within 13 hours of being there. So they're like getting ready for bed. It's been a long day, and Chris is, brushing his teeth and things. It's nice to see that the kids go brush their teeth before they go to bed. Some people don't. These are things you want to think about when you're picking somebody that you got to be kissing on all the damn time. So, him and Nicola are standing there, and he told her, "You're my second choice." I forget what. Oh, I don't remember what the basis of the conversation was. They just, do you like your couple or whatever. Nicola, yeah, she's having some challenges getting a partner that's interested in her romantically. I can't say I'm surprised. I was, wondering how that was going to play out over here for her. I did not see whatever other season she came from, but I don't know how it worked out over there, and I'm not looking. So, but over here, she's not getting any romantic connections. So, Chris told her though, like she was his second choice, and she was like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Never, ever in your life again, young lady, be getting excited when somebody says you're their second choice. That's so wonderful for you. I'm going to go find somebody that wants me to be their first choice." Child. What does that even mean? Chris be saying some stupid shit. Child. You're my second choice. He could have kept that in his head. That's just definitely not a compliment. The text comes through. It came through Lucinda's phone, and the single islanders, which is Josh and Lucinda, they're gonna find out like the position. Who gonna get to stay? It's a duel. Who got to go home? You're gonna be single with that heart necklace on, and that is not what you want to be doing. Josh said he's thinking maybe Charlie, maybe Tyreek. That's who he might want to go in. Now, Josh, just go after Charlie. You know what I'm saying? It was just such an easy decision because you want to be coupled up with this girl. You're mad at Tyreek because he talks just as much smack as you talk. And you and your feelings because you was over there pulling hearts out of the slime and handing them to him. You're finding his hearts for him. Now you think he should have done it for himself. Well, he didn't have to because you did it. So you be mad at yourself. Don't be mad at Tyreek. That don't even make sense. Just let that one go. And he made the right decision. Lucinda, she don't know who to pick. Girl, yes, you do. Oh, my goodness. Adriana and Tyreek. They're worried that they might get chosen, for the duel. One of y'all is going to get chosen for the duel. Andrea, they chose this girl, Adriana. Tyreek, you're good for now. I'm looking at my notes, but I can get on past that. No, so this girl came over here telling this girl, Adriana, came over here trying to play cool. I'm not really the jealous type. I know you're going to be exploring other things, other people on the island. And yeah, that's why we got here. And what you think, girl? It's day one. And I feel like, as slimy as he is, how do you like let that be known to you? Some people lock in. I appreciate the lock-ins, but not everybody has a lock in. You know what I mean? Some people, you know, I like you a little bit, but let me see what else is going on there. Some people have genuine feelings, and so they go ahead and lock in. I'm not mad at that. That's what it looks like is happening with Garby and Ken and Garby. I'm not even mad at it, and I'm surprised that this is like a thing for me, but I'm not mad at it. Anyway, this girl over here telling him she's not jealous. Yeah, you are. So we gonna see, because I feel like Adriana believes that all the attention is supposed to be on her, and she doesn't have to do anything but show up with that body. But you brought that snort with you too, so they balancing things out. Mert pulls Soline for a chat. Okay, so this was funny. He was bringing breakfast. These boys over here are not very good at bringing breakfast around. I don't see a whole lot of breakfast bringing, but Love Island is not the same thing as Love Island games. But I still feel like some of the things, should still carry through. So Mert, brought some oatmeal for Lucinda, and she didn't want it. Oatmeal, maybe y'all just can't cook. I eat oatmeal, but not everybody eats oatmeal. But you don't have to bring me a bowl of oatmeal. I can go do that. He brought her a bowl of oatmeal. She didn't want it, and so then he took it over to Soline and was like, "Do you want this?" Because Soline is his partner that he doesn't want. He wants to partner with Lucinda. So loud and clear, boy. We won't expect no type of, there's no. She's not attracted to him either. So they're cool. And they probably would not honestly have good chemistry as partners, because you need to be able to communicate with each other. Josh pulls Andrew. They just pulling. Everybody getting pulled to have these conversations. He wants to tell her that he's here to fight for her. Yeah, we know. And she told Josh that she's not trying to be invested fast. And I got to give it to her. Like, boy, I get it. You want to be over here with me. I like that. I do. But I'm not trying to be invested. So don't try to be over here acting like I'm your girlfriend. She said, whatever you decide to do, whoever you choose, even if it's Charlie, I'm going to be okay with it. Yeah, like she doesn't have any attachments to Charlie. I don't see why she should care. She likes Josh. They've already kissed. There's no point in kissing on all these boys if you're not interested. You only challenges. Then here comes Charlie, pulling her back over here. Jesus. So Tyreek pulls KK for a chat. He just walked away from this girl, Adriana. He pulls KK from a chat. And I'm like, what you pulling KK for? Because she's American, and American girls is too extra. But here you go, grinning in somebody else's face. Is she grinning in his face too? Now, I don't know. I don't know that she's taking him seriously, but KK wants to be booed up. So she need to find somebody to boo up with. If Chris would have snuggled with her, then, she would have been fine with that, I'm sure. I don't know that there's any, you just met him yesterday. Y'all, some of them have been communicating, I think, through DMs and flirting. So there may be some built up energy that we don't necessarily know about. But still, it's different when you meet somebody in person. Let me see. I'm trying to read my own darn writing, because I'll be writing things down and then come run my mouth, and then it doesn't make sense when I go back. That was all. It was a bunch of nothing. I can move on to the next thing. Lucinda and Mert. Lucinda's still not sure who she should choose. Mert is like, choose this girl so you can get back with me. I don't know. It's a whole lot of who shot Jan. I feel like, what did this boy say? He said she has his brain scrambled. That's not really going to do much good for you over here in these competitions. There's no love over here. So let's just see how we connect so we can get these tasks, these competitions done. I don't remember where, I left off. People were being loud and I had to go check the situation. But anyway, it's time for the duel. Lucinda versus Adriana and Josh versus Charlie. So now they gotta bungee each other together. There's a basket of balls. One basket has pink balls, one basket has yellow balls, and they have to try to get these balls, 5 balls, I believe, into these cups while they bungee together. So when the whistle blows or what have you, they pulling apart from each other, and you got to struggle. It's like tug of war with a bungee stuck to your butt. Lucinda, who came in here calling herself Noodle Arms, dragged Adriana. Sorry. She dragged Andreina up one side of that little, court to the other. I don't know what kind of squats Andreina be doing, but they're not the kind of squats that make your legs strong. So now she is on the chopping block. She is, maybe set to go home. And during the boys' round, Josh and Charlie go at it, but Charlie gave him a run for his money. So it wasn't like no easy, knockout. They fought for it and they, shook hands and respect for each other. So that's how that episode ended, episode 2. Now they bringing back some people. It's the bombshells coming through. Johnny and Justine, they're from previous seasons. Justine came through in here. I think Johnny said he was in season 2. He's supposed to be known as the biggest villain in Love Island. Y'all have to let me know. And Justine came through and she won both of her seasons. She won this Love Island season, I think 1 or 2. And then she won last season of Love Island Games. So Justine is very much in shape and good with these challenges. Not interested in any of these boys. So it could happen, maybe not, but I don't think that's going to distract her from her goal because she came over here to win 2 in a row. That's it for episode 2. Episode 3, what happened over here? Josh and Andrea, they celebrate being recoupled, and now they over in Soul Ties making out. They're calling each other a power couple. Well, they didn't call each other that. Josh called them that. They're a power couple. And like I said, how do we know that, Josh? Because we haven't seen Andrea do anything. So, she kissing Josh. We know she's doing that. Lucinda and Tyreek. Well, Lucinda and Tyreek know each other from the UK, so they have a little sit down. It was like a little brother-sister moment. He was just letting her know, I'm proud of you because you kicked ass, but at the same time, Adriana is somebody I like. So I'm not trying to I don't want her to go home. You know what I'm saying? So that's got me worried. And I like this relationship because if they're not romantically, linked to each other, but they're friends. They like each other, and that makes for a good connection. So we'll see how they fare while they're coupled up. Lucinda said this win got her confidence up. So, no more calling herself Noodle Arms. She's coming to these challenges ready to do the damn thing. And we know she's strong enough. Now, was she playing in our face? Because somebody said that. Somebody said you're going to come over here calling yourself Noodle Arms. And then when it gets to the challenges, you start kicking ass. Just people think they can, walk all over you. They know better than that now. They know they better bring their strength game. She's probably bigger than half of them. Little Garby is a teeny, and so is KK. So Anyway, yeah, I'm not mad at that little connection that between Tyreek and Lucinda as a couple. They won't be in bed making out. It don't matter. They're making their spots already outside of the bedroom. It's probably nicer to be making out not in the bed with 15 people. Um, Tyreek and KK. Now these two get to chatting in the bathroom after everything is over. You know, he asking her like, so what's up with you and Chris? And she's like, Chris ain't moving very fast. And so he, you know, leaned over at some point and they start kissing. So they've been eyeballing each other anyway. And I feel like she said in the beginning that Tyreek, you know, might be something she was interested in. She said it in front of Adriana. He is not your man. So just because he's been in the DMs, that's, you know, okay. Thanks for sharing. You got to be real like, anyway. I guess I'm not mad at it. Like I hope she's got it out of her system because he's definitely not worth, you know, really spending your time on. And I don't think he's very athletic. So I think all I see him doing is going from couch to couch with autumn teeth, smiling at somebody. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really seen him put in work necessarily. Um, he did say like he want to be coupled up with somebody that he liked. You know what I'm saying? He wants somebody that, and maybe that's why him and Lucinda, you know, will make for a good team. He wanna if you if you like me, I can couple up with you, but they can make out wherever, like I said. So I don't even think that's necessarily an issue. Everybody's pretty much like, yeah, we good, we can run this thing over here, but you know, you go ahead and do your thing. At least that's the understanding that him and Lucinda have. Um, he said he want to explore under other interests, and I feel like he told what's this girl, Adaina. He told her that in the beginning too. She was the one saying she wasn't jealous, and like I said, I don't believe it. Um, I don't need her kissing him anymore, though. I mean, it just would be a waste of her time. If you're looking for love, Tyreek ain't the one. Charlie and Adriana, um, so they get whisked away in the middle of the night and they go to meet the new bombshells, which is Johnny and Justine. Um, okay, so Adriana has history with Johnny. Let's bring them over here, Johnny and Justine. Adriana has history with Johnny, and so they sit down, and when within 2 minutes of sitting there, here she go with her tongue down this man's throat. And it was a big, nasty, sloppy kiss. And it was like, you know, he'd been very familiar with that girl. All of a sudden, she ain't mad. I ain't been this happy to be vulnerable and single. She said it 3 times at least. And now he's over here. I'm your knight in shining armor. I dug you out of the dumps. So I was like, dug you out of the dumps? What? What? I don't like him. I don't like the way he talk. I don't care nothing about his muscles. I don't care nothing about he's, I guess, decent looking. He's handsome to some. Not really my type, but he's a child. And if I was, you know, in this realm that they in, that attitude of his is, I see why him and Adriana are attracted to each other because they're both like full of self. Anyway, they all sit down because they have to discuss like who are we going up against when we get back over here. You know, Adriana and Charlie, they got a little insight how these people move a little bit. So, you know, we're going to make our picks based on obviously who we think we can beat. So, how is it going to be? Charlie and Justine against Nicola and Isaiah. And then Garby and Kendall against Adriana and Johnny. So I'm guessing like they didn't know what the challenge was. So they looking at it like if it's a physical thing, then definitely Charlie feels like he can beat Isaiah. I feel like at least balanced. I'm not going to count Isaiah out, but it's at least balanced. And Justine, yes, she could rip Nicola apart, but it's not a physical challenge. So all their strategizing really didn't amount to anything. Johnny picked Kendall because Adriana, weak tail, thinks she can out athlete Garby. I don't think so. So I don't know. You better be glad it wasn't no physical challenge, because Adriana's heavy ass booty don't move. Them thighs don't move. She's slow. Anyway, the game is not physical. It's like a heartbeat challenge. It's reminded me of the operations game from back in the day. So they have to move this ring around something that looks like a heartbeat. You know how the heartbeat machine go, up and down or what have you. So they got to move this ring across this bar and can't touch it. Like I said, just like operation. If you touch it, and the bell buzzer gonna go off and the light gonna come on, you gotta go all the way back to the end. So they have to make it from one point to another, one stopping point to another. Anyway, like I said, these types of things are definitely more skillful and not so much muscle. And, Kendall and Garby, they flubbed it and flubbed it and flubbed it. So Johnny and Andreina, I'm gonna have to do. I like her name. Like I said, it's just hard to say. For me, I'm not Spanish and my R's don't roll, so it's a struggle. Anyway, they win the challenge, her and Johnny, and now Garby and Ken are on the chopping block. We ain't sent nobody home yet, but we about to find out how that's gonna go. Nicola and Isaiah, they beat Justine and Charlie. So Charlie still got that daggone heartbreak necklace on. He may be going home. Charlie's on the bottom. Andreina. Since it's, what do you call it? Two people. Kendall and Garby are over here. And so Andreina has to decide who gets the heartbreak necklace. And of course she gives it to Kendall. She can't give it to her girl. So I was glad she made that choice. And, she did the right thing. And so now the Islanders have to vote on who goes home. And they do that thing where they stand on either side. You know what I'm saying? One standing on one side, one standing on the other side. And it's based on who knows who. Now, when they were back over there trying to strategize, Adriana did say that to Charlie. She said that Kendall got a lot of connections over here, so if it came down to it, he will have support along the way. That means he's a good guy, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Kendall is a little messy, but I feel like, everybody likes him though. So that says a lot about his character. And again, I'm surprised. I like Garby and Ken. They're cute. And Ken is a lover boy. And, like I said before, for whatever reason, I heart this. And I never would have imagined saying that, when I first started watching this. So we'll see who goes home, I guess, when I review episode 4. I watched it. I got to go take notes for it. But as it stands right now in episode 3, Charlie got voted out. Kendall is a little bit more popular than Charlie. It was very balanced. It wasn't like a whole, really blowout where you were like, oh, that's sad. Nobody likes Charlie. It was very balanced. That I understand their choices for their specific reasons. And this time around, Kendall, had more people here that was for him. And I feel like a lot of, the girls especially, they were not going to vote Kendall out when they know that Garby likes him. So I feel like the girls, the love girls, the heart girls, they want to see love over here with Kendall and Garby. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got for you today. I knocked out 2 of them like right quick. I'm getting in this Love Island vibe. I think I'm going to stay here. Y'all like the video. Subscribe to the channel. What's today? Saturday. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Ready to Love. Ready to Love reunion started this weekend since Love and Marriage Huntsville decided to go on vacation until the holidays. I'll be doing something different on Sundays. So then tomorrow is gonna be Ready to Love. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, y'all.